So let's talk about how schizophrenic and double-faced and stupid the population of Israel are. Okay, so the population of Israel are protesting now that Netanyahu is asking for a pardon. He's asking for a pardon for stealing money and for corruption in Israel. And the Israelis are like, hell no, you have to be charged. You have to be stepped down. But at the same time, they're like, oh, maybe you'll step down after you end this war against Gaza because Israel needs to be expanded and we need to kill all of them now that we've gotten our hostages back. So this is the dilemma. The Israeli people stand for justice within their country when it comes to Netanyahu stealing money, but they also support Netanyahu in a genocide. They are a fragment. They're a horrific monster of an individual. And the funny thing is that Netanyahu is only in power now because of the excuse of the war. So by them supporting the war, they're supporting him staying in power long enough to get around his domestic crimes. So they're defeating him themselves. Secondary, Netanyahu says, pardon me. That means even after the war is over, if you pardon me, after the war is over, I won't be accountable. So what he's asking for is immunity for his crimes within the country. And he says, you have to pardon me now so that I can focus on the war, because if I have this trial hanging over my head, it's disruptive to the war, it's disruptive to my own mind, and it's disruptive to the country. So what we should do is just pardon me for the domestic violence, the domestic crimes, so that we can continue doing the war crimes. This population of Israel are stupid. And also the Israeli people say that, here's what they say. They say that Netanyahu stealing money from them is an existential threat to Israel. Oh, but they don't believe that him fighting 5 countries and doing a genocide is an existential threat to Israel. So they're so stupid that they don't realize that the big threat is not him stealing $2 million from the country. The big threat is him fighting Iran, Hezbollah, Lebanon, Syria, and killing people in that place, which is going to actually bring the downfall of Israel and the fact that they're all going to have to go back to Europe and America. We saw it during the 12-day war with Iran. During the 12-day war with Iran, Israelis had to live in bunkers. Then they get out of the bunkers and they say, oh, that's not a threat. What's a threat is that Netanyahu stole $2 million from me. What type of drugs are these guys buying? I want to know who their drug dealer is. What are your thoughts, Kunle?
Yeah, there's one thing that Israelis and Ijebu people have in common. When it comes to money, they don't joke. They're like, you can commit genocide, but don't mess with my money. Because when I now looked at this corruption charges, today is the first time that I actually saw exactly what the corruption charges were. I think one was collecting collecting gifts from other world leaders to the tune of 100,000. Yeah, to the tune of £100,000. It's not a lot of
shit. I've done corruption worse than that. I've done corruption worse than that.
Yes, I mean, it's not a lot of money. But, because Israeli, we don't use that word, but, Israelis are like, when it comes to money, these people, they don't
do you remember that song? By Michael Jackson? I'm using code. Remember that song by Michael Jackson? Sue me, you can never sue me.
Yeah, all I want to say is that they don't really care about us.
Me. I hope they don't ban us.
Oh, June, know what you're talking about? I'm sorry. Juice. I said I want a glass of juice.
Juice. Wait, what did you say? Go ahead. Yeah.
No, Hitler was misunderstood. I did not say glass of juice. I said I want a glass of juice.
Juice. Yeah. He said grind the juice. Grind it.
Yes, not gas the juice, a glass of juice.
Let's get back to point. But it's absurd though that they think that Netanyahu is a threat to their democracy, their so-called democracy, because of his domestic not only the
the corruption charges. They're very
but also I think he also wants to override the judiciary and stuff like that. But my point being is that Israel needs to realize that their number one goal, their number one priority right now should be ending 2 things: ending the Gaza war, and second of all, ending the expansion and the oversettlement of these people's land. As long as
the state of Israel needs to clean up its act and start respecting international laws. It needs to pay for the destruction that it caused in Gaza. It
Well,
needs to
Kool-Aid,
make sure that those people have been thrown out and have a right to return.
but
And
Kool-Aid,
then
nobody
since
told
they cannot allow the country to have its rights, they need to let this
Kool-Aid.
country
Did you watch?
have a
Did
two.
you
The
watch?
two-state solution is the only way forward now.
Did you watch Game of Thrones?
Oh yes,
Do you remember that brat that was the king, that young boy?
Joffrey.
He could do
Yes,
whatever he wanted because his parents would let him. Israel is Joffrey. America is their father.
Netanyahu is Joffrey.
Yeah, you can kill people and everything, but nobody holds you accountable. The UN doesn't hold you accountable. America doesn't hold you. So Israel will never clean its act because they have the belief that they can do whatever. Do you remember when they killed the American Palestinian reporter? They shot her in the neck. And so when
Yes,
they even kill American reporters and UN peacekeepers, or not peacekeepers, UN aid people. So we've sent them the message. The rest of the world has sent them the message that you don't have to be held accountable. You can just do whatever you want.
large numbers of Palestinian Americans, that's American citizens
Yeah.
from Palestine, large numbers of them have been killed or detained. Not only have they also been detained without charge in Israel, but because it's America, even though they're American citizens, their rights are zero. So there's nothing special about being a US citizen in Israel, even if you're Palestinian. If you're
They
Palestinian,
can even kill Charlie Kirk, right? And nobody does anything.
yeah, it's very dangerous. The Nigerian that went to go and join Greta Thunberg on the boat to go and do protest, I think that one has disappeared because the Nigerian embassy can't do nothing for him. So I don't
Yeah,
know that
dead.
that all of the other ones they dragged Thunberg by the hair and humiliated her and all of this stuff, and they humiliated all of them. So just God knows what they. But I mean, and then for the Nigerian, I was like, why did this Nigerian go and join these people? You are already black and you are going to see how they are treating their own white people and you're going there. So yes, Israel has reached a level of depravity that has affected millions of people to the point that they need to start cleaning their act up. If they don't start cleaning their act up, even if they win every single war, no country will want to do business with them and they will just naturally die off just from ultra boycotting, like what happened with South Africa. It took many, many years of boycotts with South Africa. It wasn't something that just happened over a couple of years. So the boycotts will continue. They will increase in the intensity and regularity until something comes of it. For many years, we all thought that both the Israelis and the Palestinians were equally to blame. But now that Truman Show facade of what is going on has been lifted off the face of the world. And for the first time, the world actually knows who the real villains are. And
But
they don't understand why everybody can see right through them. They keep repeating their lies and they don't understand why nobody is buying it. It's quite sad, actually.
Yeah, but like I said, what's really sad is that we as citizens around the world, there's nothing that we can do because
There's
all of us,
nothing that we can do. Yeah, they've got the gun. You know, it's sort of like
not only
you've
the
got the
guns, they
gun
have
to
the
my
means of
head, and then you're now telling me about how I'm morally
not
wrong and
only the
you're
guns.
morally right. I'm gonna have to agree with everything you say. You got to drop on me.
Not only that they have the guns, even if you had the guns and you're able to fight them, you don't have the resources. What I mean is that if I take the time to organize and stop the Israel thing, I'll lose my job. Then I won't even be able to buy my beer today. Do you see what I'm saying?
That's why I said the easiest way to say it is they've got the drop on you. When they got the drop on you, that means maybe they already got there's nothing you can do. You can't fight it.
So, but the thing is that, the sad thing is that if we all collectivize, but the sad thing is that if enough people collectivize and say we're going on strike for 3 days, this shit would stop immediately. Do you get my point? So the problem is that they've got the gun on us because number one, because we all hate each other. In America, Democrats hate Republicans, black people hate white people hate black people. So the thing is that all over the world, there's so much fracture that the businessmen, Trump, Putin, all of them are all the same. They're taking advantage over our lack of solidarity. There's no solution to it. This is just a TV show where we talk. All right, take it.